I've discovered the best ground attack strategy in all of Clash of Clans. It involves Witch Golems, Super Archers, and Bat Spells. It's really easy to execute, and the results are amazing. This attack strategy is so simple to execute. You're going to start with a Witch Golem and 3 Super Archers on both sides of the funnel, as you see here. Then once that's done, you're going to do an Ice Golem, Witch Golem. You can put your Log Launcher, Warden, King, Queen, and your remaining 3 Super Archers down. And now you can kind of just relax for a minute. You see the funnel being set is so good. The Witch Golems, even when they go down, the 3 big boys spawn and those Super Archers are just going to put in so much work. The Log Launcher's opening up the entire base, and away we go. Now you'll see the Log Launcher opens up here, and I'm bringing a Yeti and a Titan inside the CC. Why am I doing that? Because the Yeti is going to help deal with the defensive clan castle troops. You'll see in this attack, I've brought a poison spell, but sometimes I'm going to bring an earthquake spell instead of the poison, so that the Titan out of the Log Launcher is necessary. Now my Queen's not going to go inside the base here, which is a little bit unlucky, but that is the power of this attack strategy. There is so many hit points in this army, so much DPS, doesn't even need to go perfectly for this attack 2-3 star. We use their Warden ability quite late. I encourage you to do that, use it as late as possible. And now the troops are going towards the town hall, and it looks like nearly everything's dead, but you're going to see there are 3 big boys left, and they are going to decimate that town hall. Really nicely done by them. And now we're on to the second stage of the attack, and this part's slightly easier. What you're going to do, you're going to send your RC to get some splash damage defenses down. For me here, she's going for the scatter and the wizard tower. Then you're going to use your 6 bat spells behind her once the splash damage is taken care of. And yet again, just sit back and watch the base disappear right in front of your eyes. I've got 1 ice golem left, so I bring 3 ice golems with this army. You can use 1 or 2 for your main entrance, then 1 or 2 with the bats. Ice Golem tanks the Wizard Tower, and look at this. There is nothing this base can do to stop this army, and I mean, it's just simple. It is so simple to execute. There is not a lot of thought process you need with this. I used this army 4 times in this clan war, and I went 4 out of 4. Didn't really plan any of it. It just works amazingly. And what I love about this attack strategy that we'll talk about in the next replay is it's countering the bases that are trying to counter the Lavaloon. Let's talk about that in the next replay. Lavaloon is obviously extremely overpowered, so I'm going to pause it here. You see this base here has 4 air bows and 2 poison towers, and the sweepers are set up to cover as much of the base as possible. This base is trying to be anti-lavaloon, and unless you're extremely good with the Lavaloon, you will fail on this style of base, or at least you can fail. But that's where the beauty of this army comes in, because poison towers don't do a thing against Witch Golems. This army just has too much HP. So I'm going to try and open out the outer wall here with the super wall breaker. By the way, notice I'm bringing the earthquake in this army instead of the poison spell. I'll talk about that when I use it. So we're just going to put the jump spell down at the start, because obviously it can't open up any more of that. Same exact thing. Golem Witch, or Witch Golem, sorry, 3 Super Archers, Witch Golem, 3 Super Archers, and spam everything else down the middle. I think I do put my Log Launcher down slightly later here, just because I've already got the jump spell down, and I don't want the Multi-Inferno locking onto it for too long. And here is the Log Launcher. The King goes around, but yet again, this doesn't have to go perfectly. It's just gonna work. You see, I put the Earthquake spell down in the core. That's to weaken all those buildings. I have to use my Warden ability early here to keep the Log Launcher alive, so that it opens up the wall to the core. As you can see, it's about to do any second now, I believe. Yep, there it goes. Too easy. And this hit doesn't look like it's going perfectly, right? Doesn't look like it's about to dominate this base, but trust me, it is. I put my Rage spell down in the core. We've still got the Titan up, helping deal with the pups. King's doing his thing. The Queen's still up on the top side. Now, this push is about to die out, and it will die out before it gets to the Town Hall, but I've still got my Queen, so we're chilling in that part because she is going to go in. By the way, look at how much of the flanks we're taking care of thanks to the Golem Witch and the Super Archers. And look at this, Queen's going to make it all the way to the Town Hall, pop her ability. Town Hall is down. RC is up there to deal with the scatter. Now, unfortunately, You see all those skeleton spells pop on the Royal Champion. She's gonna die, so I just Bat Bomb. Then I forgot to put down the Ice Golem in time, so I just froze the Ice Golem instead. You can see the Town Hall Poison does destroy all the bats, so you do need to be careful of that. But yeah, nothing really this base can do. Its fate was sealed. And there you go. That is an anti-lavaloon base. Now, in saying that, lavaloon can triple any base. But that is an anti-lavaloon base, and it got pretty well crushed by this. So I'm not going to sit here today and tell you that this army is better than lavaloon, because it's just not. Lavaloon's the most broken attack strategy ever. But this is pretty broken itself. It's more fun, more skilled, but you don't have to be that skilled, and the results are still epic. How do you take down a ring base? Well, I'm going to do this slightly differently, because you don't get as much value with a log launcher on a ring base, because the Town Hall is so much closer than it would be when you come in on box or diamond bases when you're coming in from the back end. So we do the same setup, Witch Golems and Super Archers on the flank, the rest down the middle. But I'm not using a log launcher here. I'm just going to wall break the second layer and then jump over the Town Hall. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Battle Drill with my Royal Champion. And then delay the bats even more, and then the base will be tripled. Now, you could absolutely use the log launcher here, and it still would have tripled. So if you don't want to have to think about it too much, just use the log launcher, and it will be fine. But I figured I didn't need the log launcher on this one. Notice I've still got my Warden ability. I've still got my one rage spell. I pop it here, and we're just bulldozing through this base. I use the drill with the headhunter. With my RC on the right-hand side, going to get rid of a Wizard Tower Queen and the Scatter. You see the double stun of the Diggy and the Drill. And yeah, this base is just in so much trouble. I accidentally put down 2 Ice Golems on a random Archer Tower. That wasn't my brightest moment, honestly. That was not my brightest moment. But I kind of knew this base was wrecked. I kind of knew we were going to run over it. Yes, this base isn't quite maxed, but if you're really going to tell me that the reason that this attack triples, the only reason it does is because it's not maxed, you're out of your mind. Now, as you can see there, the NATO does get a lot of our bats, which is a little bit unlucky. Not much we can do about that. So the bats are going to die up, but I've still got an RC ability, still got a Queen ability. I've still got my entire drill up, and I'm sitting on 2 freeze spells. I don't even use the freeze spells for the bats. Actually, I do. Oops. That wasn't my best work. Doesn't matter. This base got wrecked by this attack strategy. And yeah, not the best base in the world, but you can only triple what's in front of you, right, when it comes down to war. Here is the final attack of the video. A diamond base. As you can see, it has got a poison tower and a couple of air bows. So yet again, this base is trying to be slightly anti-lavaloon. It's still got a rage tower on the back end, but I can understand this rage tower given it gives that much value. But yeah, same exact thing every time. The less you think about it, the better. Log launcher coming in. Now you can see I've talked about this a bit throughout this video, but whatever this last spell is, you can change dependent on the attack. So you saw against the box space, I needed the Quake on the walls, otherwise I wouldn't have opened up the base, so I bring a Quake. Some of the time I bring a poison spell if I'm worried about the CC or skeleton traps. And on this one I brought a Skelly spell, and I've placed it right here because this monolith would have wrecked my troops. Obviously a monolith can do a lot of work versus the Witch Golem if it locks on. However, the skeletons from the Witch Golem are so strong, so I might not have needed it, honestly, but I'm glad I did bring it. The Tesla farm popped there, and I definitely felt good about that decision. King ability goes off, and the Warden's sitting there, and I'm gonna move forward and then pop my Warden here, just because there's a lot of damage coming on the troops from the Rage Tower, and it keeps my King alive. And I mean, this base is just in so much trouble at this point. Now, I almost thought about not bringing the jump for this. If I brought the Quake spell, that would have opened up the wall and would have allowed me to bring 2 rages. Some of the time, you don't need the jump spell with this attack strategy, but I think it's worth bringing it every time. It's just a nice safety net. And I mean, look at how many troops I have up. This base is in so much trouble. The big boys come from the Witch Golem. I've still got the Titan up. Queen's up. I mean, this base is just toast. I pop my Queen ability on the Town Hall here. I think, yep, I do. Poison Tower will go off, and as soon as this Poison Tower goes off, this base is over. The RC's already got rid of 1 Wizard Tower, and I believe I do the bats from the top side. Yep, because The only thing that stops this hit is the poison tower or a tornado. So I just do the bats separately. I freeze that multi a bunch of times. Ice Golem for the back end wizard tower. And this base is slaughtered. Not even close. And I mean, none of the attacks in this video were close. I went 4 out of 4 in a war where literally everyone else is using lavaloon. So if you want to stand out from your clan mates and be tripling because you actually know what you're doing with the game, well, not that you have to know to use this, but if you want to know more than someone that's using lavaloon, here's a good army for you all. Let us know in the comments below what you think of this army, and are you going to give it a go? If you're just going to stay with lavaloon, I don't blame you on that one, but figured we'd show something new today. In saying that, if you are using lavaloon and you want to see our full lavaloon guide by TK, I will link it on the left. Give it a click because it's a very, very informative guide.